Welcome to TMZ Live. The Crash, the documentary about a girl, Mackenzie, who killed her boyfriend and their very good friend. That has enraged her boyfriend's family.
Yes, and they want some changes, changes to laws because of what they fear Mackenzie, the girlfriend, might be able to do with all the success of The Crash.
Even though she's behind bars.
Even though she is serving a life sentence for the murders of her boyfriend Dom and their friend Davion. Mackenzie, for those who don't know, was in this car with her boyfriend and their friend Davion. She's driving 100 miles an hour, never takes her foot off the gas, and slams into a building.
And the data is actually the critical point in the case, which is that in the 5 seconds before impact, her foot was down to the floor,
yes,
and she never
brake.
touched the brakes. And
right.
you see 0 on the brakes and 100 on the gas pedal. And then the question became, was there an intent to kill Dom and their friend?
Davion, yeah.
And the judge said yes.
Yes, there is. And the person from Dominic's family who is stepping up to try and make those changes happen is his sister, his big sister, Christine Russo, and she is joining us now to talk about that. Christine, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Christine, first of all, we're so sorry. It's just horrendous when you watch what happened. It's just unimaginable,
and even though,
what your family has gone through here, because it's just gut-wrenching. So why don't we start with this, that Mackenzie is now the centerpiece of one of the most successful documentaries Netflix has ever put up. And what that means is if there are eyeballs on it, there are opportunities there. And it seems like this is where you're triggered.
Yeah, it's absolutely infuriating. It's exactly what she's always wanted. She's laid in, the second after she killed my brother and Davion, within hours of killing 2 young men, she laid in a hospital bed making TikToks and trying to get modeling gigs on Instagram. That's all she's ever cared about. So it is infuriating that this did so well, because she has exactly what she wants. And that's where the petition that I just started to modernize the Son of Sam's law, the Dom and Davion's law, I'm trying to make it so that she cannot profit off of my brother's and Davion's murder, and people like her can't profit. Violent criminals shouldn't be able to profit through social media, donations, interviews, GoFundMes, loopholes, things of the sort. Son of Sam's law needs to be modernized. Things need change with the digital era. It needs updated. She has found loopholes already. She's loving every second of the attention that she's getting.
Christine, tell us about the loopholes that you believe she's found. I know she was interviewed for The Crash, for the documentary. I haven't seen anything that she was paid for that. But what are there other loopholes, as you put it, that you think she's found?
There's donation sites. I'm not sure the sites. I know it's not a GoFundMe, but it's one of them platforms where they've raked in thousands of dollars taking in donations for her right now. There's also...
What do they say those donations are for? Is it for her legal defense?
I'm not quite sure off the top of my head, but she's getting the funds. And I've also spoke to people that she was in prison with, and she's living a completely lavish lifestyle, and they're funded by these people that, she's gotten the attention from the case.
Explain the lavish lifestyle.
I've heard she has 4 or 5 pairs of shoes, $400 hoodies. She has hair wands and hair curlers, waist trainers. I could keep going, but she's got everything she wants in there.
So I imagine there are people who are putting money on her commissary so that she can go and get all this stuff. Wow. That is, I get why that would be very upsetting for you and your family. Have you spoken to any legislators in Ohio there that are on board with this?
I've only started this week. We do have, I think the Flanagans may have one legislator, but that's what I'm putting this out for and calling out, and that's why I'm doing these interviews. Is please, if anybody's out there, get in touch with me. The Big Sister Unhinged at Outlook.com. But yeah, I need help. I don't do politics. Despite what the Shirillas may say, we are not a political family. That's one of their defenses. But I need help, so reach out.
So I would love to talk to you about the end of that documentary, where her mother says that an email was sent
Mackenzie's mother, yeah.
by Mackenzie to your mom about Dom, and the way I'm doing this from memory, that Dom had threatened to kill them both, and that
At some point in the last month before the crash.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up so I can tell the world the truth. So 2 weeks before, approximately, don't quote me, about 2 weeks before she killed my brother and Davion, she was driving her vehicle down the highway where they started to fight. She threatened to kill him. She was driving erratically. Dom called his mom for help, and there's witnesses to that were there and heard this. And then Dom had to get picked up from the side of the road. So Kenzie was driving and was saying that she was going to kill him. Now, what Kenzie did, because she's a narcissist, and was covering her tracks because everybody heard the call and knew what she had done that day. Dom, the friends, the family, everybody knew what she had done. So she was trying to save face, and then texted my mom to save face and try to cover her tracks. She's a master manipulator. A lot of things that we're seeing on the internet is a ton of misinformation. That's why I started my podcast, The Big Sister Unhinged, because there's so much misinformation floating around. That's a huge piece. She was just trying to save face and twist the story. She was sick.
Okay, Christine, thank you. There was a text exchange between Dom and Mackenzie that prosecutors released this week, and it did have her referring to him trying to kill her, but there was no context. So it sounds like that's what she was referring to. And you're right, she did just say it as if it had happened and there was no context. So thank you for providing that. You mentioned your podcast. It's called The Big Sister Unhinged. Mm-hmm. You started this a few weeks before the documentary was released. Did you start it because you knew the documentary was coming out and you wanted a platform to get your family's side of this out?
Exactly. We've been battling this for about 4 years now. This has always been a highly publicized case, especially in our communities. It's been all over. But I knew that with the Netflix movie, we've sat back for 4 years and have been so helpless, having to watch people say terrible things about my brother and victim blame and slander my family. And, the internet, there's internet trolls. You guys probably know that best, So I sat back for 4 years as I watched my family sit here helpless. So in wake of the Netflix movie, I woke up one day and I was like, I have to do something to protect my brother's reputation, our family's reputation. I want to do something positive. I started a foundation. It's called the Change the Game for Dom Foundation, where we're going to help underprivileged kids play basketball and sponsor leagues and things. I'm doing a petition. We want to keep Kenzie from getting any attention. I want to bring awareness to true crime, like the families behind true crime, the grief that's behind it, and domestic violence awareness, especially in teenagers, and bring awareness to young men too, that women can be just as evil and dangerous as men can.
So, finally, there are varying views from people who watch the documentary on how they see things. Do you think Dom was portrayed fairly?
I haven't watched it, guys. So
Really? Okay.
I previewed it before they had me preview it without me knowing. I walked in and they're like, "Oh, you're going to preview it." And I didn't see the final version. What I saw, I was fuming and infuriated, and they did edit some, to my requests and things, but I'm so worried still that people think badly about my brother, but everybody has to realize that this was a real a real case. He is a real person, and Davion too. This is not a story that these boys were murdered in cold blood. She is a cold-blooded, evil killer, and that, you know, I haven't seen the final version, so in a lot of things, it's like, I don't know. I just,
I
yeah,
imagine it was too painful, sort of relive. I mean, I'm sure for your whole family to have to sort of relive all of this now with all the attention from the documentary.
In that version you saw, you know, and I don't know how much was changed from that, but, you know, I'm curious what you thought about the way they characterized the relationship between Dom and Kenzie.
Well, I hope that they put out how volatile and toxic she was to him. There is so much more that I know is not in there. So much more that the public doesn't know, that like we know about, his closest friends know about. There is so much more. So she is beyond guilty, beyond a reasonable doubt. But there's a lot more that the public doesn't know. You know, there's a whole, so much more, I guess.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for joining us, Christine, and wish the best to you and your family. As people want to check out her podcast, it is called The Big Sister Unhinged, and you can get that where you get your podcasts. Christine, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
Coming up.
Real Housewives of the OC star Kelly Dodd facing some very serious charges now. Revenge porn. She believes the person who has brought this to the police is a family member.
Be right back.
Real Housewives of the OC star Kelly Dodd facing some very serious charges now. Revenge porn related to a video that prosecutors believe she not only has, but distributed a video of another woman, and the victim here is only referred to as Jane Doe, but this video Kelly allegedly shared with at least one other person, if not others, and that is why she's now facing these charges. This person, by the way, she believes the person who's brought this to the police is a family member. Now, she's still not naming the family member, but this is what she said on her podcast about the charges, as much as she can say at this point.
We can't tell you much right now because Kelly hasn't gone to court yet. You can't wait to reveal the truth.
Well, I can't talk about it right now because I have court tomorrow at 2:30 at Harbor. I know it's somebody in my family that is putting this stuff out there. Is driving this. And you know who it is.
So the question now is, what is the revenge? Also, what is the porn, but what is the revenge?
Well, the revenge part of it is just if you have a video that's revealing of someone.
No, I understand, but it's usually, to quote Clara Peller, where's the beef?
The person, why would she have sent this? If she did, why would she have sent this?
I mean, I get what you're asking. I think we still are figuring out who the victim is, and then we can figure out what the revenge is.
So then the question is, why did...
why would she
allegedly release
videos?
Suggestive video of this family member?
Yes.
And what's behind it? What's the allegation?
Do we know if the Jane Doe is a family member, or is she saying that Jane Doe is a family member?
Jane Doe is a family
She's not being very clear. She's saying she believes the charges were brought because of family member
that someone reported her.
Took all of this to the
police. Basically saying she's got a snitch in her family.
Yes, correct.
Or that she's got a family member she did this to.
Or that. She's being very vague on purpose, I believe, yes.
So can I tell you the weird thing about this? That it's like crazy to me. There's no law that says you can't talk about a charge while it's pending. And a lot of people say, I'm not allowed to. Yeah, you are. 2, maybe it's not a good idea to. But you go on your podcast.
But if you're on your podcast
and you're
with your
talking
husband,
about it, and if you're really trying to
charging, I know. Well, she's talking a little about it on the free podcast. But if you want to hear more, you got to pay for her Patreon.
Yeah. By the way,
okay.
What we just showed there, she at the end teases it and says, well, if you go to our Patreon,
you'll
then
hear
you
more.
can hear more. And then they have a product deal that
On
they're
the
doing.
revenge
So
porn
she's
charge.
using the charges to make money.
If you're worried about pissing off the judge, which might be the end game here, why would you do that? I mean, going on the podcast is one thing, but saying, and if you want Mark, cough up some
there was
dough.
a full brand.
She pulls out a
deal,
liquor bottle and talks about it.
Specific liquor bottle and starts talking about it right on the heels of talking about her charges.
I mean, this is crazy.
She has court today, so
is
we'll
it really
see.
that wild in Real Housewives terms? Like, this is what you would expect.
This is one of the.
I wonder if the judge is thinking. By the way, are they allowing cameras in the courtroom?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, this must be heartbreaking for her.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a criminal defense attorney from New York. And despite being charged with 3 misdemeanors, it seems like Kelly Dodd is not too worried about the charges. The revenge porn charge only carries a possible sentence of 6 months in jail and California's version of an unsupervised probation. Regardless, she seems to want to try this in the media. She's leaking text to certain media outlets. She's posting on her Patreon. She's going on her podcast. And she has to be really careful with that because even when people
do you
hear
think the
these
judge is going to get pissed off at that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt, the judge is going to get pissed about that. I would if I was a judge. So I think she has to be careful because people are going to side with the accuser when they hear the type of charges. And the judge is not going to be happy that she's running her mouth on all these different websites.
Sometimes maybe not try to make a buck in the middle of a legal crisis.
They should start these podcasts. You have a right to remain silent.
But we know you won't. We got a big showdown coming to Madison Square Garden, right in the heart of New York City, and it is not between the Knicks and another NBA team, although that's going to be happening also. The other showdown could be between
the Dems and MAGA.
Yes, and the president and the mayor. But you heard yesterday President Trump said that he is strongly considering going to an NBA Finals game at the Garden because he's been invited by the owner, James Dolan, a good friend of his. So while he considers it, what about Mayor Mamdani? I mean, it's his city, and the Knicks are in the finals. You would think he's definitely going.
I got thoughts here.
We talked to him about the possibility of, a run-in with Trump. They're clearly political polar opposites, but they did have a meeting that seemed to go.
They had more than one, and they broed down.
It certainly seemed like it. So let's see what's going to happen at the finals.
Are you going to go to a game?
I'm not sure yet.
Not sure?
I'm going to be watching the games, I can tell you that
You're
much.
at the conference finals, and you're not going to go to a finals game?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, wonder who is going to a game?
Yeah.
President Trump.
Okay.
So he said he's most likely going to go, hypothetically, I know you're figuring out your schedule, would you go with him to a game? We can keep walking.
If the president went to a game, I'd let him, that's his decision to make. If I go to the game, I'll be doing so separately.
You know the Garden very well. How do you think he's going to be received when he goes?
New Yorkers, we are an unpredictable people. I think I'd make a fool of myself if I wanted to make a prediction.
Do you think if the Knicks win, so many people are going to take off like work or school, would you make it a holiday?
We're looking into an executive order to let the kids stay up late, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Boy, he didn't give one answer there.
Yeah.
He was not a politician 3 months ago.
He's a seasoned politician.
Oh, my God.
So I'm curious with you guys what you think the reception. Initially, my thought would be a chorus of boos because New York is a very blue state. But it's so expensive to go to the finals that you're going to be amidst a sea of people who are very wealthy. And that might skew
But a lot of those wealthy Manhattan people
are liberals.
Are liberal. Right.
And so, look, you got a couple of things going. He goes to UFC fights. It's a different audience, but he goes. He has been to sporting events. He's been to baseball games where he gets booed, and he also gets cheered. And I think that's just part of the game for him. He knows it.
I think
But it'll hurt him. He's a Queens guy to get booed in Madison Square Garden in the heart of New York, where he's from.
He does not act that way.
If it was just booze, I think that might bother him.
It's going to sting him.
It's not going to be
He doesn't
just
mind
booze.
mixed. In fact, I think he wants it to be.
He likes mixed.
Right.
He likes to
He's also thin-skinned, though, and he is going to.
but not with crowds.
He's a native son of New York.
Not with crowds. He's not going after individuals in the boxes and seats. But I think Donald Trump desperately misses New York.
Yeah.
Because
You could hear it when he was talking about it.
Yeah.
He gets wistful about it. It's home city.
Every other street has his name on a building. He loved that city. He grew up there. And he was kind of, in a way, pushed to Florida because he was not getting...
Once his politics
and he was a
did not
fixture.
align.
That's right.
When his politics did not align with Manhattan, then he knew he had to go to Florida.
For decades, he represented Manhattan. Like,
And
he was a fixture of the
he's
city.
always liked going to Florida, but more as a vacation home rather than a permanent home.
Right.
New York is his state of mind.
100%.
Hi, this is Ty. I'm from Kansas City. I also agree. I saw the comments that the mayor made. He also indicated that both of them wanting the Knicks to win and be in the championship are some of the few things that they actually agree on. I think that the personnel and the organization, they'll do what they need to do. They'll keep their head in the game, not be distracted. Whether the president goes or not, the president being there will be a distraction. He's a topic, but he should not be the topic. He should not be the focal point because this is something unprecedented for New York, and we should focus on the game and not the people participating.
So, Ty, you said you're from Kansas City?
Yes.
I got a question about this. I was thinking about this.
Oh, okay.
So, like when you go to a restaurant and you want to get a Kansas City steak, do you just say, I want a steak?
Yeah. We're in Kansas City, yeah, steak.
Right.
They're all Kansas City cuts, right?
So you just say, yeah.
Coming up.
Well, the murder case of singer David has led to someone getting arrested. Someone who has nothing to do with David's murder case. Someone made a bet about that case.
And then made a fortune.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
The new Superman movie is filming in an Atlanta prison and it is disturbing the inmates' routine.
Inmates, welcome to Hollywood.
It's TMZ.
Well, the murder case of singer David has led to someone getting arrested. Someone who has nothing to do with David's murder case, which he is, of course, facing the murder charges for Celeste Rivas. But someone made a bet about that case.
And then made a fortune.
And made a fortune, made more than $1 million.
Off a $1,000 bet.
And that person has been arrested because they worked at Google. I believe I don't know if they still do, but...
So we got to explain this.
Yes.
So there was a bet.
On a Polymarket.
On a Polymarket.
It's a Polymarket wager, yep.
About who is going to be the most searched person of 2025.
And Kendrick Lamar was who everyone believed it was going to be. He had been all year. And there was, on the Polymarket, a 0% probability that David would end up being the #1 search person.
But you could look at trends if you worked at Google, and you could look at how he was surging. We saw it here.
Right, because we saw the interest in the case here as we were covering
But they're looking at metrics, and this is according to prosecutors, that this guy who worked at Google was looking at the metrics and said, if it goes up like a rocket the way it is, he's going to surpass Kendrick.
So he lays the $1,000 bet, and boom! Huge payday.
$1.2 million.
Well, clearly that must have set off some alarms with regulators because they started obviously launching an investigation.
Which I find really weird. Why wouldn't, I mean, it's like, David did surge because we know that.
Yes.
So why are they even looking at that?
Well,
because
he did it before the surge. Because we know that because it was a 0% chance that he was, according to Polymarket.
Polymarket.
0% chance. Nobody was actually wagering on him. There was no thought it was going to be. So it hadn't yet happened.
But somebody is going to do it just because it's, you know, once they found her body, because David's name didn't surface until they found her body.
Yeah.
So this had to be finding the body, and when the body was found, it became the biggest news that we were covering.
No, it was huge. I mean, the big point is, though, that this guy had access to the insider information, right? He worked at Google. He could see what the trends were. Nobody else was seeing this.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is that why would the feds start saying, ooh, somebody bet on that, I got to find out who that guy is.
If he had bet $10,
I think it'd be okay.
Probably would never have gone on their radar.
But $1,000 is not like...
I know, but my point, $1,000 is a lot of money to wager when it's a 0% probability.
And then it hits, everybody's going to look at that.
Yeah, wait a minute. Have you ever been to a horse, to a racetrack where you bet on a horse that's got the worst odds because there's a chance the horse is going to win?
And if I was the stable boy, I'd get arrested for that.
Arrested.
He's the stable boy.
Right. The stable boy doesn't know.
Yeah, no, he does.
Right. That's exactly what. That's the difference. That's the point here. Is that you can't use the stable boy. Yeah, I think if he had bet $10, you can't lay that big a wager when the odds are so.
I just don't think for
I mean, even in Vegas, they'll look into these things.
Polymarket, people bet thousands and thousands of dollars on things.
Not at things that are, I don't know,
you're going to look at
$1,200 to 1 or
but the feds are going to look at a $1,000 bet.
I think it's auto, like there's bells and whistles go off when somebody puts in that kind of bet on a long shot and it comes in.
Yet, Congress can do insider trading and get away with it, which is insanity.
Well, that is a separate issue. That is insanity. You're right. It's not the same insanity.
But I feel better
this.
having said it.
Hi, my name is Vivian and I'm in Southern California. And I think we're going to start to see a lot more of this because unlike with the stocks, for example, with the prediction markets, you can pretty much put money on almost anything or everything. And almost anybody who has some kind of job of affiliation with a company is going to have some access to information that could end up being considered insider information, stuff that they may have thought like, hey, everybody's talking about this. They're not necessarily thinking like this is stuff that is not available to the public. So I think a lot more people are going to do this, especially because they're not going to think it's illegal. We're used to seeing people getting in trouble for stocks, but not everybody is used to seeing people getting into trouble for prediction markets. So.
Yeah, I mean, because there are so many different things that you can wager on in these prediction markets, but I don't know that this, I know what you're saying, how a lot of people just have information. This one seems, if it is as the prosecutors said, pretty clear that the guy knew he was doing something wrong. And in fact, they claim that he tried to cover it up afterward.
I think this is a slippery slope where, yeah, okay, if people do this with stocks are regulated by the SEC.
Right.
And then when you start getting into Polymarket,
when you start doing predictions about just everyday things that are happening in life,
people make all sorts of bets where they have inside information. You know, a coach bets on a baseball game and a Little League game and knows something about the players.
Wait, what Little League game are you betting on?
My neighbor is.
There's no Little League games you bet on. Get out of here. What?
Coming up.
Gayle King said a lot about her ex-husband. She detailed catching her husband having
in flagrante.
It's a very big club. None of us want to be in it.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Gayle King said a lot about her ex-husband, which we got into yesterday. If you missed it, she was on Call Her Daddy, and she detailed in very stark detail, catching her husband having in flagrante with a friend of hers, not Oprah. Settle down.
Not Amanda.
Not Amanda. It was a long time ago. But she talked about all the details. So we had reached out to her husband just to find out if he had a different side of this.
But boy, before we get into this, you got to understand, she really went into detail about how she caught her husband.
We talked about
in
this
there.
yesterday.
I know, but in case you didn't see it.
Right.
Not everybody.
Okay. I just don't want you to go through every detail because you were so fascinated by it this morning.
I'm not.
Because you hadn't heard.
It's just that
but
she went through all of these
got
details.
To the house, and she found him actually.
And
the friend was in a towel.
And the thing is that when the jig is up, the husband takes the girl, the mistress, to the train station and leaves Gayle. So there should be hard feelings there.
Turns out there are not. So when we reached out to William, he basically threw himself at the mercy of the court and said, "She's right. I apologize. It was an awful thing that I did." And they are now successfully, they co-parent. They're co-grandparenting, actually.
And get along.
So we got Gayle this morning outside CVS. She was a little surprised that we had actually even gotten in touch with William. Here's what she said.
I was surprised that you guys got, A, that you found him. That's number one. B, that he was even talking, because he never talks. So I was surprised, but I can also say I appreciated what he had to say. You know, this happened so long ago that we are both healed, we have both moved on. And the reason why I can talk about it so candidly, to be honest with you, is because it has been so much time that has passed. And I feel I'm in a really great place, and so is he. What I'm really touched by is how it's been resonating with other women. And I want them to know it's a very big club. None of us want to be in it. But the beauty is you can go through it and you can come out on the other side and you can really be okay. Now the question is, I'm now singing the Ray song. How's it go? Baby, where the hell's my husband? I'm now concentrating on where is he? Where is he, Harvey?
Yeah, where's her husband, Harvey?
I gotta tell you, I love Gayle King. I just think she's just so cool. And when you listen to her, she's so level-headed and thoughtful. And I don't know, when you watch what she said, that's the way it's done.
Yeah.
That's the way it's done.
Their kids are 39 and 40 years old. She's been divorced for 33 years. Of course that's how it's done. They're
Let me tell you something.
It doesn't always go away.
Whose parents got divorced, and for decades they were at war.
Probably because they probably still loved each other.
No, never.
She was over it when she found William in the bed with that friend.
No,
well, from what she said, she wasn't over it.
She wasn't over it. She said she had to heal.
By the way, she took him back for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
she did take him back for a while.
That was the other part of the story.
But
I didn't know. Oh, tell me more.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Shay, Florida, and Harvey, I'm with you. I like this Gayle. Like the candid, I was surprised at the things that she was saying. Like we need more of that Gayle, but more so, I liked his apology. I thought he had accountability.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy they're in a good place. You know?
Yeah, it's the way it should be done. And
faster than 40 years, but yes, that's the way it should be done.
I don't think it necessarily.
No, it hasn't been 40 years.
That's right.
They've been on good terms for a long time. You can totally understand why Freedom Williams would be a guy you would call to perform at the celebration of America's 250th birthday.
Because his last name is Williams.
Yes, exactly, because his last name's Williams. Freedom Williams is the rapper who performed with CNC Music Factory back in the 90s. And yes, he was tapped to perform at one of the DC events for the 250th anniversary of America. But it seems like he had he definitely did not know that it was a President Trump aligned event. And he's ticked off that he didn't know, but even more ticked off about the fact that people have been trying to cancel him because he took the gig.
Oh, God.
Listen to this.
Oh, God.
I just got some texts all day. I kind of been out the loop. And people talking about, yo, free. Yo, you doing the Trump Freedom Show. Yo, you doing the show on the 250th anniversary of the U.S. with Donald Trump. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? My agent called me about 3 months ago and said, yo, you want to do a show the 25th in Washington? Yeah. He didn't mention Trump. So I'm getting all these calls. So I go online. I'm like, okay, so what's going on? So I told my agent, yeah, no, I ain't going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? But then as I thought about it, I'm getting all these texts talking about we going to cancel CNC Music Factory. Let me tell you something. I don't Trump. I know the type of anarchy he creates. But the day I let you tell me what to do is the day I die. I will vote Genghis Khan, Hitler. I've been the terrible before I let you tell me what to do.
You're on his side now.
I
knew you were going to be on his side.
I love this guy.
I knew you were going to be on his side.
I love him because
his point was he doesn't want to be. But listen, I can vote whoever I want.
And he's saying no. I think he said
he made it clear.
I don't like Donald Trump.
Yes, he made that very clear.
Don't tell me what I can do.
And so now it seems like maybe he is going to do the gig. I mean, he told his manager, I don't want to do it. But then he started seeing all the backlash. He's like, wait a second.
He's going to prove a point.
Right. You listen to that. You're like, he's performing.
Can I tell you something? That there have been, I mean, it's like there are so many people who perform for presidents. They have concerts at the White House.
Yeah.
They have inauguration day.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says, what are your political views and are you going to do it? And, you know, people...
But again,
only with Trump.
This is where we are, right?
I know, but it's
only with Trump.
It's like, you can have
We talked about this with Jackson Dart this morning.
Have strong feelings about the Iran war. Have strong feelings about gas prices. Have strong feelings about the cost of living. But if you're going to if you're going to be outraged at the same level for every single thing, it's just not only exhausting, but the real things become white noise.
What kind of noise?
Okay, God. Oh, my God.
White noise.
Hello, I'm Millie Chan from Dallas, Texas. And I feel like Freedom made, because CNC Music Factory was relevant in the 80s and early 90s, and anything for relevancy, but I feel like he was going to do it anyway. But shout out to Young MC and Morris Day for backing out and standing up for a cause instead of just falling for anything. I appreciate that.
Well, I would say that freedom, and I know it's not the same cause you're talking about, but I would say that freedom is also standing up for a cause.
Well, he's standing up for a principle.
Standing up for a principle while sitting on the toilet.
That's right.
That was interesting.
That
why
was
in the bathroom?
Coming up.
Hey, Gypsy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, finally. She came in to do the podcast. We talked
good.
about her take on the Mackenzie Shirilla stuff.
Oh, guilty or not?
Are we filming? Yeah.
Yes.
Be right back.
They're the same height.
Nice to meet you.
She came in to do the podcast. We talked about her take on the Mackenzie Shirilla.
Are we the same size as Gypsy?
Oh, guilty or not?
Are we filming? Yeah.
Yes.
This is the live stream.
Yeah, I think she's guilty.
Of murder. Okay.
Based on.
So you think she had an
She
intent?
watched the documentary.
I'm watching the
I
documentary.
watched all of the documentaries
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
We just had a conversation with
What I don't
Dom's
understand
sister.
about it is they made a big deal of that. She's wearing a seatbelt and they're not. And I get it that you're safer with a seatbelt.
Right. If you're going
100 miles an hour into a wall,
you would think that you're going to.
But I've talked to a bunch of people who say the seatbelt was a huge thing. I don't think it's a huge thing. It's something.
I mean, maybe it explains why she survived, but you wouldn't be thinking. I thought the same thing. You wouldn't be thinking you're going to survive
Right.
going that fast.
So so was she intending to kill? Was she intending to kill everybody?
Not bad. I don't know. That's the intent is very interesting because I mean, I wouldn't crash my car into a building and think I'm gonna survive.
Right. So
Like,
then this
why?
was it was murder suicide the way you see it.
That's why I kind of see it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean I think that's kind of what. See, except
And if it is,
they were, but
she's guilty.
But the prosecution was making it seem like she knew she was going to live, and that made no sense to me.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Yeah,
any
that
sense at all.
doesn't make sense. A seatbelt's not going to save you from a 100 miles per hour crash. I mean, the
Smashing into a building.
probability of that would be
Yeah.
so low. Right. Though she did.
Coming up.
If you loved Cynthia Erivo in Wicked,
Don't tell her.
Wicked for Good,
Don't tell her.
Yeah, shut up about it. After completing, I don't know how many years of promotion for both Wicked films,
She's sick of it.
she's really, really over it.
Be right back.
If you loved Cynthia Erivo in Wicked,
Don't tell her.
Wicked for Good,
Don't tell her.
Yeah, shut up about it. She does not want to hear about it anymore. After completing, I don't know how many years of promotion for both Wicked films,
She's sick of it.
she's really, really over it.
No.
No.
No. We're really going to try and get one from Wicked, aren't we? You're the only friend I ever had. This is Alphabet in Wicked. You're the only friend I ever had. Do you mind if we do another question that isn't about Wicked? Because I feel like I've spent the last 2 years talking about it, and I think that we have an opportunity to start talking about something else. Is that okay? And I love Wicked, but I've just talked about it ad nauseum.
She does not want to be defined.
Oh,
It's really
I get it.
interesting.
I
She doesn't
kinda
want
get
to be
it.
defined by Wicked. And by the way, that was a Variety interview, but you can tell. I mean, it's like everywhere she goes, she's got a career that goes beyond Wicked.
Well beyond
All
that.
people talk to her about is Wicked.
Right.
And she's probably sick of it.
I know, but when you do iconic movies like this, you kind of know that this is going to be a part of your career for the rest of your life.
But you know what? I'll give you an example. The Carlton dance. You know,
Yes.
that dogged him for years and years and years.
Alfonso
You're acting like
Ribeiro.
it doesn't dog him anymore. It still does.
Yeah, but there's
And-
people like, the actors from the Brady Bunch. They know that that's going to be part of their legacy, and they're going to have to talk about it, and they're going to have to hear the phrases for the rest of their lives.
Their showbiz careers are pretty much over, right? So that's their thing. She's in the middle of her career.
Do you think
in fact,
she's
I think
worried?
there was something else that she wanted to promote that she's actually doing now.
Do you know who the goat is with this? I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus. That she was so defined by Seinfeld,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
she did Veep,
Right.
and it was a whole new life, and very few people do that.
Very few.
Coming up.
One thing everyone can agree on is Donald Trump loves FaceTime. Loves
yes.
FaceTime.
Loves to have FaceTime with everyone in America, and he's found a new way that could possibly happen. Is he FaceTiming?
No, it wasn't him.
All right. That is putting his face on a $250 bill.
Be right back.
One thing everyone can agree on is Donald Trump loves FaceTime. Loves
yes,
FaceTime.
Loves to have FaceTime with everyone in America, and he's found a new way that could possibly happen. Is he FaceTiming?
No, it wasn't him.
All right. That is putting his face on a $250 bill, which does not exist yet. There was no such currency before.
But he wants it. He wants that.
This is part of the 250th anniversary celebration. He thinks that we should have a $250 bill.
This will be only the 14th thing that's going to be 250 with Trump's name on it.
But you can't.
in the next
But this
month.
has never been done before, if it actually happens.
But money is going out of style. So why are they
money's
creating
going out
new
of style.
currency?
First of all, money's going out of style. Most people will never have a $250 bill.
Secondly, it's illegal.
Secondly, yeah, there's never been a sitting president.
Right, but there's actually a law against this.
there is.
But they're able to,
But they're trying to find a loophole?
Right. So
what are the chances?
by 2028...
What won't his face be
Yeah,
on?
D.C. is just going to be like Trump world.
Not just D.C. Did you see the renderings of Penn Station in New York?
No. Seriously?
Wants to put his name on a wall there.
Well, Trump's world.